Hmm. This is definitely something to talk about.
So in this video, unfortunately, I need to talk about something a little bit different. I need to address why I'm no longer affiliated with USCCA, why I left USCCA, why they're no longer a sponsor on the channel, and now also who I'm going to be partnering with, essentially because USCCA did not deliver on their program promises.
Now, this is definitely something to talk about. This is something I'm definitely going to talk about. I had a chance to watch the entire video from this content creator, Anthony Miranda, otherwise known as Armed Scholar on YouTube, who otherwise provides quality material in terms of breaking down legal cases and stuff like that. Some of the stuff has been clickbait because it really has just been a repetition of some of the stuff that we've heard before with clickbait titles and stuff like that. But hey, you have the right to do what you do. Neither here nor there. He walked away from USCCA. What, if anything, does that mean? Let's talk about it. Oh, of course, this video and others are authorized in accordance with Title 17, United States Code Section 107, copyright law of the United States for fair use, criticism, teaching. Again, I'm not a lawyer. This is not a legal advice. Okay, as a criminal justice lecturer, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm just talking about stuff. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Let's go on ahead and dive into it because I do want to see what he has to say, and you judge for yourself. Me, I'm not going anywhere. Why would I do something like that? Why would I do something like that? You said you have lawyers on attorney. Love them. I don't even know what that means. Hey, Dennis, what's going on? What do you mean when you say you have lawyers on attorney? And by the way, share this. Like, comment, share, all that great stuff. And go on over to Armed Scholar and subscribe to his channel. This is not a knock on him because he provides quality content, quality content. But we're still going to talk about this video. Okay. This wouldn't be the first time you've heard me talk about this and the company that he promotes now, Attorneys on Retainer. And there's just some things that you need to consider. You need to consider these things. So you said lawyers on retainer, great law firm. Is that what you're talking about? Attorneys on retainer? You said you have them? Okay. I mean, hey, look, you have the right to choose whomever you choose. But the question that I'm going to continuously ask for those who are listening, for those who are following, some will sit here and say, well, Mike, you got 1 million followers, but you only got a million subscribers, but you only got 34 watching. I don't really care. Those of you all who've been following me for quite some time, that for me, it's never been about the numbers. It's been about those who have an ear, let them hear. So let me ask you this question before I even dive in, Dennis, because you're very engaged in this conversation so early on. And I'm going to ask you, and let's see what you have to say in the comments. Here's the question that I have for you. Do attorneys on retainer have a relationship with the judges and prosecutors in the county where you are? That's the question that I have. I mean, where you spend your money is where you spend your money. I don't care whether you stay or whether you go, because I'm not feeding you. I'm not effing you. I'm not financing you. I don't live where you are. Suffice it to say, most of you live in places where crime, it could happen. What's the likelihood? Whatever. So you're just spending money for the comfort of believing that you have protection. Those of us in Chicago, we know there's a high likelihood, unfortunately, that we would have to actually use it and need great lawyers who actually have relationships with the criminal justice system participants, practitioners. And that's what matters. So, Dennis, I'm definitely talking to you. Dennis, I know you left USCCA. You said they actually have relationships. Okay. Cite your case. Cite your source. Because I know real attorneys who partner with USCCA that have helped actually defend and got great outcomes in the courts with USCCA. So cite it. Cite it. It's easy to say, yes, they do. Cite it. Because that's what I'm not hearing here. We haven't even gotten into his video yet. Cite it. Cite it. Because the likelihood of you getting into a situation where you'll need a criminal defense attorney who actually knows the Circuit Court of Cook County, oh, it's probably great. You know, used to be a time in Chicago where downtown and up north and certain neighborhoods, it wasn't that much. It wasn't that much crime. Now, oh, you can get it anywhere. You can get it anywhere. So I'm still waiting for you to cite your source. I'm going to go on ahead and play this video because I still want to hear what he has to say. Let's go.
Coverage is not actually delivering what they are promising.
Y'all go subscribe to his channel. He's got.
So this is going to kind of be a little bit off the cuff. You know, I have some talking points I'm going to break down, but I'm going to, you know, kind of hit three main points. I kind of want to go through my history with USCCA because I have some different information, some different intel about, you know, this whole situation. I have a long-standing relationship with them. I was on contract with them for multiple years. And, you know, during this whole situation, while this was going on, I was having multiple conversations with people, you know, behind the scenes, asking for answers, trying to get answers for you guys, trying to get answers for myself, because I was, you know, out there promoting years back USCCA. And unfortunately, when a lot of this stuff started to pop up, you know, I wanted answers just like everybody else. And so I kind of want to go through some history of my relationship with USCCA. I want to talk about a little bit the two main instances and a lot of the issues with the USCCA program, you know, kind of the straw that broke the camel's back of me wanting to leave and needing to leave. And then also I'm going to be talking about AWAR, who is going to be the new partner here on the channel. It's going to be the program that I'm going to be recommending to you guys for your self-defense coverage, because I think they actually are delivering on their promises. And we're going to talk about a little bit of their program, what they're doing, and why it's different from other programs like USCCA. So for some history about my relationship with USCCA. Now, this is actually a very unfortunate video that I have to make because USCCA really was the first company ever that I worked with here on this channel. You know, our relationship started all the way back, I think, in 2020. You know, they were one of the first affiliate programs that I was with. You know, back then their, you know, coverage was stellar. You didn't have any issues with USCCA. They were a smaller company. They were a growing brand for sure. But, you know, their emphasis really was on that self-defense coverage. You know, now they're becoming kind of a bigger company. They're focusing more on things like training and education and certification for CCW trainers and things like that. They're more focused on things like giveaway. And so in my mind, they've gotten away from the ethos that really got them to the dance, that really, you know, put them on the map, and that was providing self-defense coverage. But
now I'm curious. I am very, very curious how he could even fix his mouth to say that they got away from the coverage in protecting those people who have been involved in self-defense situations, when if you go on USCCA's YouTube page, they have a plethora of people who actually been in real self-defense situations. Real self-defense situations that they actually have been involved in. And for him to say they gotten away from that, can you really say that to the people who have actually had to go through self-defense situations? Can you really say that? I gotta ask that question. Here we go.
He told me if I didn't get the money out of my pocket right then, that the guy that was standing over there to ambush me was going to shoot me. And once I took my eyes off of him, he hit me. I ran around the car because he started yelling, shoot, 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 don't let him leave, shoot. And that's why I started shooting.
Ja'Cory Burns of Louisville is charged in the murder of 22-year-old Lonnie Oxendine.
Burns shot Oxendine outside City Center in downtown Lexington on charges of murder and assault.
They put me on the ground, handcuffed me, and took me to the police station for interrogation. Everything was taken from me within like seconds.
Well, a trial has started for the man accused of shooting and killing an aspiring rapper in Lexington
In his testimony yesterday, Burns claims it was in self-defense.
The prosecution argued Burns brought a gun to a fist fight.
Whenever there's a body in a homicide, unless you're wearing a uniform, there's going to be a charge.
Now, guess who that guy is? He's a local attorney.
Today I'm sitting down with Ja'Cory Burns, a fellow USCCA member.
A local attorney. Look, I'm not talking about him. He's with USCCA. I'm talking about the local attorney who has a relationship. John Olash has a relationship with the prosecutors in Lexington. I'm sorry, I can't even say it right. Lexington, Kentucky. I'm just trying to figure out how you can fix your mouth to say, I'm just trying to figure out how you can fix your mouth to say that. Here we go. During the membership, they ask to please provide the contact information of a local attorney of your choice. AOR will interview that attorney and add them as a part of the TRAM. I don't know what TRAM even means. I think you mean team, right? I think you mean team. But how do you even, hold on for a minute. Doggone phone. Sorry. How do you even know, and how do they even know what to ask? How do they even know what to ask? Do you think this attorney is going to give the most accurate information? I'm just curious. These are just, and I have a right to ask these questions. I'm going to keep on asking them. I'm going to keep on asking them. I mean, you do what you want to do in your area. You do what you want to do in your area. But that's not what Anthony just said. Anthony said, and we're gonna watch this video. Anthony said, these are gonna be the guys that's gonna actually represent you. That's what you're gonna watch. We're gonna watch him say it. We're gonna watch him say it. Come on now. Which one is it? Either these are the ones who's gonna be litigating for you, or they're not. Now, which one is it? Because I'd have a problem with somebody who don't know nobody coming from out of town into this state, into this county, trying to represent me. Now, if you all want to do it where you live, that's your life. That's fine. I'm not judging you. I'm just using my voice and talking. Let's continue because I want to watch what Anthony has to say. Oh, I want to watch it actually.
But, back in 2020, I brought them onto the channel. We had an amazing relationship for the last, 3 years. We had an amazing relationship. I've been through multiple iterations of their program on the creator side. We've done multiple different changes. I became friends with a lot of the employees there. We spent time with them out in Wisconsin, out in Minnesota hunting. I've been to their headquarters, got to tour their headquarters, go through some of their training qualification stuff. So we did have a pretty good relationship. I got to spend a lot of time with them. And, this is not to throw shade on everybody within USCCA. This is kind of just more at the company at large.
Hey, Gail.
There are still some people within USCCA, some employees who are stellar individuals. They're pro Second Amendment, pro 2A. They love this 2A community, but unfortunately, USCCA as a policy is not actually delivering on their programs.
Oh, Lord. Freaking ads. Sorry, I'm doing it from the wrong doggone channel.
What has lasted 5,000 years?
So like I mentioned, from about 2020 to mid-2023, the relationship was good. There was really no issues. But then about mid-2023, maybe even early 2023, a lot of concerns started to pop up online, essentially because USCCA and their coverage specifically, came under fire because of some high-profile issues. Of course, because they were denying self-defense coverage. So there were multiple, cases. I'm not going to break those down.
Now, listen to what he says. Now, he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer, right? Not a criminal defense lawyer, right? He's smart about gun laws. He's a litigator, but he's not a criminal defense litigator. And so what did he just say? Here we go.
I'm not going to break those down here.
Here we go. Let's listen.
Because of some high-profile issues, of course, because they were denying self-defense coverage. So there were multiple, cases. I'm not going to break those down here.
Multiple cases. I'm not going to break those down here. Why wouldn't you break those down? You are making the claim that there are multiple cases that they have denied. Why aren't you breaking those cases down? Because you know that is not correct. Let's listen. He's only going to cite 2 of the cases. If you've been hearing this back and forth, you already know the 2 cases that he's going to cite. And if you go to attorneys on retainers, oh, fuck, the 2 fingers. I can't. Okay, the 2 cases that he's going to cite. And then if you go to attorney on retainers page, you already know the 2 cases that they are going to cite. The case where the lady set her husband up to be deleted, planned it, faked it, got USCCA insurance to try to cover it as a part of her scheme. On appeal to the Supreme Court, her appeal was denied. They actually saw the patterns of her setting it up. And then Alan Coles, I think that's his name. Coley, I believe that's his name. You mean being approached by a YouTuber and did not avoid that conflict. He got into a conflict. Now, granted, he didn't ask for it. He did not ask for it. He did not ask for it. But he got into it because he stayed. What would he have done if he didn't have that gun to use? What would he have done if he did not have a gun to use? Would he have stayed there? No, he would have ran. And see, that's part of the problem that we don't talk about in the Second Amendment community. Those people who are anxious to use a gun, anxious to get into situations, and then want USCCA or any insurance company or any CCW safe, attorneys on retainer, Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network with Masad Ayub. You get into these situations you know you have no business getting into, and then you want the company to come through for you. Much like being with State Farm or Geico or USAA. And you're going out there looking for car crashes to get into. You're engaging in reckless conduct with this car, and all of a sudden you get into the accident, and now you want them to cover you. You mean those 2 cases, kind sir, dear counselor? Those are the only cases that you got? Let's listen, because you know that's all he got. I'll read your comment in a minute, Marty.
In this video, I would highly recommend maybe you go over to AOR's videos.
Look at
they break down those cases. They break down, USCCA, those whole situations. I will link those down below.
That's the only case That's the only 2 cases they cite. Never mind the other cases of people who have been in bona fide self-defense situations and came out on top. Yes, they got arrested. That can happen. No, they didn't ask for it. Yes, they did get arrested. It can happen. But these local attorneys that have relationships with the criminal justice practitioners in the county where you live, that attorneys on retainer does not have. They don't have it. They don't have it. Ask them to cite their most recent cases. Well, we can't talk about that. Case is currently in litigation. We can't talk about that. Okay, well, once the case is done and it's no longer in litigation, where are your videos of the people you've actually helped? Where are they? I would like to see that. I think that's a fair ask. I would like to see, where are these videos? Where are they? Because I see USCCA putting videos out. I see them. Now, you said you've been with AOR for 2 years. Thank goodness I didn't have to use them, but grateful to have. You don't even know if it works. TNT, you don't even know if it works. You don't even know if it works. I'm a fair person. I am a very fair, whether you believe it or not, I don't give a fuck. I'm a very fair person. Where has it worked? The only video you could say is AOR's videos titled How Attorneys on Retainer Can Cover in All 50 States. Who have they covered? I'm waiting. Who have they covered? Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Who have they covered? Who have, you mean to tell me none of the members have gotten into anything? I mean, you really only know that your insurance is good or that your lawyer is good when they can actually produce results. I'm still waiting. I know a video is going to be made about me. I know I'm going to be talked about. Who have they covered? Because here in Chicago, I can't recommend or even come close to recommending attorneys on retainer. They don't have relationships here in Chicago. They don't. And the people who I teach, suffice it to say, they got a greater likelihood of getting into some stuff. So why would I go with the company that has no record here in the Circuit Court of Cook County, Illinois, the county seat of Chicago? Supposedly, allegedly, one of the most violent cities in America. Now, if it works for you where you are, that's fine. I said what I said. I just find what he had to say problematic. My legal attorney is Dan Webb. What's his record? And he might have a record. I don't know. What's his record? That's all I'm asking. What's his record? What's his record? I mean, I could tell you I've had an attorney. I've had an attorney. He was horrible. He was horrible. When the case that I had went to a different county, he was horrible. 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 Now, Dan Webb. Oh, federal prosecutor. Okay. Here we go. Frozen Tundra. Wait, USCCA is an insurance company and AOR are actual attorneys. Way to state a fact, Frozen Tundra. You are correct. You are absolutely correct. This would be correct. You ever had a bad attorney get you convicted? You ever had that? Like, I guess ignorance is in fact bliss. You can have it. That's fine. You can have it. Those of us who actually been in situations with the legal system, who actually know how the process works, those of us who have actually been practitioners in that system, who knows how the system works, I'm just saying, whatever. Whatever. I mean, do you? Look, hey, look, do you? Now all of a sudden you got convicted. Now you're in jail. Ineffective assistance of counsel. You can try to make the claim. And you see how attorneys protect themselves. I mean, oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You don't know if it works. Here we go. Insurance companies are in the business of not paying money. Not to the people who actually didn't go looking for the conflict and were bona fide victims. They actually will pay for those who were bona fide victims. Not some of you. Pride from my cold, dead hands. Why would you even say such word? You're going to F around and find out. You're the ones. Yes, please go to attorneys on retainer. Please. 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 Yeah. Please. Because you're not responsible. You're not a responsible gun owner. You're going around actually looking for conflict. Your rhetoric suggests that you're looking for conflict. I wish somebody would try to break in. I got my AR-15. I got my guns. I got my this. I got my that. I wish somebody would come in and try to harm me. I got my gun to protect my... Why would you ever wish that? That's not responsible. See, we don't have an honest conversation about the Second Amendment community. Some of you all are itching for the conflict. You're itching for a chance to prove your bravado and your machismo. You're looking for it. Yeah, I'd want you to leave USCCA too, if that's you. I'd want you to. Because you're going to fuck it up for the rest of us who are actually responsible carrying firearms, not looking for conflict. Now, TNT, there we go. You said the only reasons I have attorneys on retainer is because I get backed by work-related issues doing armed security in Arizona. Now, if that's something that USCCA does not cover is your professional capacity insurance, then that would be a logical reason why you would go with attorneys on retainer. You got no qualms with me. You got to make the best decision for you in your area. I still ask the question, what's the relationship they have? What's the wins and the losses? Does that make sense? And actually, attorneys on retainer is in Arizona, so that would make sense for you. That would make sense. Hey, TNT, you got nothing with me. I'm cool. That makes sense. They're in your area. Bravo. Wonderful job. It makes sense. You see how I'm a fair person, very fair person. It makes sense. Why would I ask you to risk yourself in your future when you're doing armed security and are exposed to more situations where the likelihood of you having to use your firearm is greater than someone who's just a concealed carrier? Makes sense. Outstanding work. But the rest of you, what's your issue? Let's get back to Anthony. I want to see a little bit of what he got to say because I'm letting my food digest so I can go do my 5K run. tonight. Did a 10K this morning, going to do that 5K run tonight. Let's continue watching it. Let me pull this up.
If you want to watch those, but it was the Kayla Giles case and then also the Alan Coley case. USCCA essentially.
That's it. Just didn't I say he was going to cite just those 2 cases? Didn't I say he was going? Here we go. Didn't he say multiple? He said multiple, but he only cited 2 cases. He said multiple, but he only cited 2 cases. Only cited 2 cases. I'm sorry, but Alan, what would you do if you had no gun to use? I saw that video in the mall with these people that walked up to him. Yes, it was horrible what they attempted to do. Alan had all that space behind him where if he had no gun to use, he would have ran. I said what I said. I said what I said. I said what I said. No. I would say this. If he was in Cook County, it might have went a little bit different. If Alan would have lost his life, you say, here we go, Frozen Tundra. Why should he have to run? Would you? Yeah, I would. I would. See, that's what I'm talking about. Didn't I say it? See, here we go. We got a gun. We ain't got to run no more. We can stand our ground. What would you do if you didn't have that gun? You would run. I would argue that half of the people in the Second Amendment community, if you did not have that gun, you would run. Yes, I will argue that to my dying days. Being the police in a high gang, high narcotic, high crime area, I know what I'm talking about. If you didn't have that gun, you would absolutely avoid that conflict. The smarter, the wiser, the stoics would say it's better to avoid the dragon than trying to slay it. You see what I'm saying? See, here we go. Why should he have to run? Would you? Boy, get out of here. Gail even said, if I could avoid using a gun, I would. See, that's why I'm glad I'm one of those responsible members of the Second Amendment community, an independent member of the Second Amendment community. I'm not with that F around and find out language. Some of you all don't want to F around and find out. You think they stopped making guns because you got yours? You think you ready for a real self-defense situation? Like Jeff Fort said, ain't gonna be no killing without killing. You think you get to drop a body and not pick up ops? See, some of you all use firearms in places that have family and community values, fair fights. You would never be able to pull that kind of stuff here in Chicago, because guess what would happen? Guess what?
From all information that we have, was not providing the cover.
Guess what would definitely happen? That get back is real. You think you'll get to drop a body and still live on 62nd and Eberhard? You think you get to drop a body and then go home? If the courts don't get you, the guys and the gangs and their family most certainly will. Most certainly will. See, a lot of y'all live in communities where it's a fair fight, so to speak. You shoot this person and then they're, well, you know, we did lose our family member. We, cry and go to the funeral and, well, he shouldn't have been out there doing this and committing this type of crime. And the man had a right to defend himself. And because the man had a right to defend himself, yeah, we lost our loved one and, it's a fair fight. And okay, all right, we just... Maybe you get sued for wrongful death, whatever the case may be. Maybe that's the extent of it. You hear the anger and the frustration and on the media and stuff like that. But you don't have to worry about the man's family of that person you shot want to come back and green light you and your family. You don't have to worry about that because you live in a moral community and a nice community. That shit could never work around here in Chicago because that get back is real. They don't care nothing about your legal reason why you shot somebody. Oh, that get back is real. They coming to get your ass. Like I said, I'm going to end it because it's 7. I need to go on ahead and get my run. I just wanted to come up here to just ask you to answer the question. I'm not going to play all of Anthony's video. It says it right there, Armed Scholar USCCA. You can go watch the rest of it. It's 13 minutes, 33 seconds. He really doesn't say anything of substantive value. It's a whole lot of, they didn't deliver on this, they didn't deliver on that. The multiple cases, but only cites 2. So there, he lost me there. But I didn't just not, I listened to the whole thing. He didn't really say anything of substantive value. He said there were issues, didn't state what those issues were. He stated he tried to get answers, didn't say what the questions were that he was asking. He didn't get into specifics. He didn't say anything of substantive value. And I'm saying, if you are in Chicago, if you are in Cook County, if you are in a high gang, high narcotic area, and you know your lifestyle, not you, because you ain't going to look for conflict, but you know that where you live, it's a high likelihood that you're going to have to use it, you better reconsider. You better consider who you're actually getting to actually cover you. And you better make sure that your attorney has a great record of actual wins when it comes down to self-defense. Later on, matter of fact, hold on, I got to play this because Anthony said something that was so troubling.
Coverage to those individuals who did pay for and have USCCA self-defense protection. And so the whole purpose of having USCCA self-defense protection is so that if you find yourself in one of those situations, they will actually cover you and help you with those legal issues. That was the whole reason why everybody purchased USCCA. You know, I know now they push heavily their training and their education and all these other things that they do, their giveaways, but that was not the main reason why all of us backed USCCA.
And so for me, this is a problem. For me, this is a problem. For me, I do not like it that an attorney at law, who, by the way, is not a self-defense attorney, he's a litigator, he understands gun law, he is a scholar in that respect, but you would never hire him to defend you in a self-defense case. That ain't his area. If you don't understand anything about lawyers, they have specializations. Not every lawyer that is a Juris Doctor, they're not, you get what I'm saying. Good guy. No, Anthony's a great guy. He really is. He really, really is. I'm not personal. I'm just attacking the issue, not the person. But you would never hire him to defend you. But the problem that I have with his statement, well, I know they're pushing the training, they're pushing the education, but that is not the reason why we back USCCA. The training is what's going to help you see things better and clearer so that you can know what to look for so you can avoid having to try to slay that dragon in the first place. Because even if you pop, and that person is down and they're no longer in existence when your adrenaline calms down, did you get hit by some of those bullets that were fired too? What you really thought? You thought it was just because you got a firearm that there was a likelihood that you're not going to get deleted too? Jeff Ford even said it ain't going to be no killing without killing. And some of y'all got firearms and you think that suddenly makes you invincible from dying. But he got a problem. A licensed attorney got a problem with you getting education so you can avoid the conflict. Come on, bro. Come on. I got a problem with that.
It was for their self-defense coverage. And so a lot of issues started popping up where they were not actually providing those benefits. And of course, that was very concerning to me, someone who was under contract with them, that was promoting their program to you guys.
But he's saying a lot of people were not getting coverage. What were those cases? What were those cases? What were those cases? See, that's disingenuous for you to sit here and make those statements and not cite those cases, counselor. That's problematic. You're not saying anything of substantive value.
Guys, and then
And matter of fact, counselor, where is your offer of proof? Where is your offer of proof? Now, Gimme says, what's your thought on Kayla Giles, who was a USCCA member, and they dropped her case, and her USCCA lawyer was surprised and thought she had a good case? Well, I'm going to show you what the Supreme Court actually said about her case. And I did a video on this. She appealed this to the doggone Louisiana. Here we go. You asked for it. Here we go. Am I on that? Am I on the right screen? No, I'm on a different screen. Hold on. I just want to make sure. Stop sharing that one. Get to this other one. You asked for it. Here we go. State of Louisiana. Let me pull it up so I could blow it up so you can see it. I'm going to drop your comment and I'm going to pull it up so you can see. Bam. Let me get my head out the way. State of Louisiana versus Kayla Jean Giles Kuti. Hope I said her name right. I'm not trying to disrespect her name. That's not the point. This was October 25. And this is the Court of Appeal for Louisiana 3rd Circuit. Of course, they're going to try to take it up higher, whatever the case may be. But let's go ahead and go to it. Facts of the case. Defendant and Thomas Kuti were married in 2014. They had one child. Their marriage, however, would not be characterized as harmonious. In 2018, defendant and Thomas were separated. The separation was not amicable, to say the least. Thomas reported defendant to law enforcement authorities that the defendant, Kayla, slapped him during a custody exchange. Defendant complained to her friend, Jennifer Dennis, that Thomas slammed a car door on her leg during an exchange. In retaliation, defendant slapped Thomas. At a 2018 custody hearing, defendant indicated that Thomas had jumped her during an earlier incident. Mrs. Dennis, this is Jennifer, related that in early 2018, the defendant, Kayla, told her she wanted to kill Thomas and asked if she could borrow a gun. Tell me that's somebody who's avoiding conflict. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Tell me that's somebody who's avoiding conflict. Come on. Come on. You told me to cite the damn case. Well, here it is. Come on. Let's continue. Let us continue. So let's get to the right page. Here we go. Ms. Dennis refused to loan the defendant one of her guns. Later, the defendant sent Ms. Dennis a picture of a black handgun she had purchased. The defendant also asked Ms. Dennis if she knew anything about self-defense insurance. Why would you be trying to get self-defense insurance after you just purchased a firearm, after you told her you wanted to kill Thomas? In 2018 of August, the defendant sent a message indicating that she had deleted all her social media accounts that she might make the news. Come on now. Come on, bro. Come on. Come on, bro. Come on. Cite it. Let's go. Cite it. Cite it. Cite it. Come on. Here we go. Later in the same month, 9th Judicial District Court issued a mutual protective order that, among other things, prohibited them from possessing firearms pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section 922G8. Also in August, defendant Kayla began researching Louisiana self-defense law and concealed carry insurance, both on the internet, on her computer and her mobile phone. And August 2018, contrary to the court's protective order, the defendant purchased a Ruger LCP handgun, chambered in .380 automatic Colt pistol from an Academy Sports and Outdoors location in Dallas, Texas. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives Form 4473 obtained by Academy, which is required of all commercial firearms transfers and purchases, indicated that the defendant was not subject to a criminal background check because she held a valid concealed carry permit out of the state of Texas. The defendant also purchased concealed carry insurance from the United States Concealed Carry Association later that day. What do you think she was planning on doing? What do you think she was planning on doing? Come on now. Come on, gimme. You better not have left. I mean, if you did, have a good night. But come on. Come on. Is this the type of person you think USCCA should be protecting? You know how insurance companies would drop people who were bad drivers and bad actors because what does it do to the rest of the members' money when they really, really need it and they're not going to look for conflict? Yeah, That shit. That shit. Come on, let's go. Here we go. During a custody hearing in 2018, the defendant accused Thomas of bringing a gun to the custody exchange. And during the defendant's trial, Jennifer Giles Austin's sister, the defendant's sister, confirmed that accusation. Come on, sound like homegirl got a problem. In the meantime, Thomas filed a pleading seeking a new trial on the district's court custody order, along with a demand for reimbursement of money and an order for contempt. This pleading was served on the defendant September 7th, 2018. On September 8th, 2018, the defendant and Thomas met in a Walmart parking lot in Alexandria, Louisiana, to exchange physical custody of their child. The defendant's children from a previous relationship were going to accompany Thomas on this occasion, as they were going to Chuck E. Cheese to celebrate the child's birthday. After the children were in his truck, Thomas approached the defendant's vehicle and opened her driver's side door. Defendant shot Thomas in the chest, killing him. While the defendant described Thomas jumping towards her car and jerking the door open, the defendant's own daughter, A.S., stated that Thomas walked towards the car, which contradicted a recorded statement she had given to the police earlier. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like somebody who is territorial over their kids. You not gonna keep me from my kids. And this the person you want USCCA to defend? Oh, everybody's entitled to a defense. Bullshit. No, you going out there looking for conflict, you not. Sorry. Nope. Nope. And according to USCCA, they covered her, paid the money in the beginning until the facts of the case, more of the facts of the case came out. And then they saw, no, we can't cover that. You can't be going around looking for conflict. No, buddy. And they dropped that at the right time. Congratulations. 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 When I see somebody like this, who was at a location and at an event that canceled, and the guys wanted their money back. The guys wanted their money back. And he didn't have the money. He had to accumulate the money. So what did they do? They tried to fight him. They punched him. And he defended himself. And so he defended himself. And USCCA got him free when the justice system didn't believe him. The local attorney by USCCA actually covered him. Local attorneys matter. Local attorneys matter, but local attorneys, especially the real good ones, they cost money. They cost money. And you're going to put your life in the hands of attorneys on retainer who, by the way, you don't even know if they got wins and good relationships. Where are their videos? That's what I want to see. I challenge, where are your videos of your wins? You can't tell me all of your cases are still in litigation. You're too green. You're like a virgin. You're too green. Where are your wins? Where are your wins? Because if I'm going to recommend you, you got to have some wins under your belt. You said attorneys on retainer, you still have to pay if there's an incident. They didn't say that part. And Frozen Tundra said USCCA did positively protect the Chicago man several years in court. I'm just saying, where are the wins? You just heard Anthony come up here, a licensed attorney. You just heard him come up here and say multiple cases, only cited two. You mean the two that we know already? The one that they were supposed to drop, Kayla, they should have dropped her. Yes, they dropped her at the right time. And Alan, hey, you should have ran. You should have Man, come on. And the problem is, some of you all, without that gun, you know you would have ran. You know you would have ran. Now you got that gun. What Frozen Tundra say? What Frozen Tundra say? Why should he have to run? Would you? Yes. Yes, I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. I'm all the bitches. I'm all the punks. I'm scared. Yes. Yes. What do I have to prove? To who? To who? In Chicago, and I'm going to land with this. In Chicago, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be outnumbered anyway. Even if we put a staccato in your hand, a $3,100 gun in your hand, a staccato. Come on, sign off in the comments. Name me some quality firearms. We put a CZP-10 in your hand. We put some of y'all like CZP-10 in quality. That's my shit. We put a Glock, you Glock fanboys. We put a Glock in your hand, right? We put a SIG in your hand. We put a staccato in your hand. It's still semi-automatic. You get the boys and on the block with a switch. All that training you went through ain't gonna even matter. Not only are you gonna be outgunned, the rate of fire, you ain't gonna even be able to react fast enough. You're outnumbered, you're outgunned. So why would you go looking for a conflict just to prove how bad you are? That is called a superiority complex. That's a psychological issue. You got a superiority complex. You just gotta win. You just gotta win. You gotta win. Why? Why does a licensed attorney, who by the way is in the state of California, let's not act like California already doesn't have a lot of restrictions, so you definitely can't be getting into shit because you live in a state that's not so gun friendly. We ain't gonna talk about that though. Why would a licensed attorney have a problem with a insurance company that actually wants to teach you and educate you on best practices to avoid slaying the dragon that you don't need to slay? As the Stoics would say, as the Adlerian therapist would say, most conflicts are interpersonal problems. What you say, gimme? Harlem Nights. Here lies a man dead at 26, but he ain't no punk. Let's not talk about how Black culture cultivates conflict. Not Black history, Black culture, modern Black culture cultivates conflict. Does the Second Amendment community cultivate conflict? That's definitely a question to be had when you say F around and find out. Do you really want to F around and find out? Do you really want to? Do you really want to find out? I wish a person would break in. Yes, while you're awake. Every night you sleep differently. One night you may sleep light. The next night you may sleep heavy. And then that's when it happens. After you done broke out the Gok 3000. Oh. You done got that good. And some of y'all had some Seagrams. Y'all done had your favorite, what's that, Tennessee whiskey. You knocked the fuck out. It took your shit. And then you wake up, you got your guns. They still kicked in your shit and got you. Oh, come on, fool. F around and find out. You ain't ready. I used to be a Navy SEAL. The fuck does that mean? You had a team back in the day. You ain't got shit now. You just by yourself. Oh, that's right. You live in a safe space. And that's why it's unlikely for you to happen. Come to O Block. Come to Chicago. Come to a real dangerous place where the likelihood of it happening is greater. Talk your shit. I wish somebody would try to carjack me. You live in an area with low crime. That's why you can afford to go with attorneys on retainer. You ain't gonna really be tested. Your gangster ain't gonna be tested. Attorneys on retainer knows that. Your gangster ain't gonna be tested. What did he say? TNT, I ain't messing with you. Somebody said this. Somebody said this in the comments earlier. What'd he say? Come on. I done had that. I'm gonna read your comment, Marty McFry, because it was a good one. Let's see. You said, I think he said something about, okay, yeah, here we go. I've been with AOR for 2 years. Thank goodness I didn't have to use them, but grateful to have. See, your gangster ain't gonna be tested. It ain't gonna be tested. You know that. So you can go to USCCA, attorneys on retainer, don't fucking matter. Your gangster ain't gonna be tested. But for those of us, you right, Frozen Tundra. I gotta put that shit on the shirt. Right? But those of us in Chicago, I couldn't wear that shirt in Chicago because guess what? That's asking for conflict. That's asking for conflict. Because here, oh yeah, the gangster will get tested. I don't want that shit. I don't want it. Right? What do they say about people who are really capable of violence? They look for peace. They look for peace. Because that violent side brings about a whole different thing. Ain't gonna be no killing without killing, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Jeff Fort said. Who's Jeff Fort? Jeff Fort was the leader of the Black Peace Stones in Chicago. What he say? I gotta put this up there. What he say? Come on, what he say?
Threatening Chicago police officers. It was a threat that the gang was more than ready to make good on.
And there's not going to be no killing without killing, gentlemen. With all due respect, definitely not going to be any killing without killing. You know, and I would like that to be clear for the record.
Clear for the record. Jeff Fort, aka Chief Malik, said ain't gonna be no killing without killing, ladies and gentlemen. That was him talking to the police. There ain't gonna be no killing without killing, but here you are. You got attorneys on record, and you got a staccato. You paid $3,100 for your gun. It's got a nice, smooth trigger press, and you got your nice optic, your red dot. And you a grandmaster USPSA shooter. You go to all the matches. All the boys know your name. Your gun brings all the boys to the yard. That shit wouldn't work in Chicago. Ain't gonna be no killing without killing. Does attorneys on retainer have relocation services? All right, I said enough. I said enough. We getting close to that hour mark. We getting close to that hour mark. Thank you, Gail. So good to see you. Wonderful moderator of a lot of different channels, including her own. Y'all, shouts out to Gail at Night. Go support her channel, please. Wonderful content creator. Thank you for that. Thank you for coming in and moderating. You get what I'm saying. Look, do what's best for you where you live, but you better make sure that, what did he say? What did Anthony say? I can't leave without sharing that. I can't leave. I got to go back to Anthony's video.
So in this video, unfortunately,
I got to go back to his video because what did he say? I want you to hear something. Yes, I want you to hear this. Here we go. Here we go. What do you say?
Consumer if a self-defense situation comes up. And also, you know that if you have AOR, those attorneys that you see online, that you see in the videos, Mark Victor and his amazing team, those are the attorneys that will actually be protecting you, that will be litigating for you. They can go to any state. They can, waive into the state. You can get your own attorney and they will help. And also one of the really cool things about AOR right now, which, was one of the additional ticks for me that made me want to actually promote AOR, is that now their law firm is moving exclusively to just doing self-defense work only for their members. So they're not going to be.
So what does this mean if they are only doing self-defense work exclusively? That means, or is it likely to mean, they don't have a lot of exclusive experience in self-defense litigation? Come on now. Come on now. Oh, they're exclusively going to self-defense. So what was their prior practice? What was their prior practice? What was their prior specialization? Have you been injured in a car accident? Call the lawyers of lovers who will represent you. What was their prior practice? What was their? Oh, come on. You do what you want, pimp. Look, in Chicago, they dropping real bodies around here. They dropping real bodies around here. What does that say on the big screen, my Lord? What does that say on the big screen? What does it say? Certified criminal law specialist by Arizona Board of Legal Specialization, admitted in Arizona and admitted in Hawaii. I love Hawaii. Another attorney, criminal defense attorney, admitted in Arizona and Hawaii. So UTNT, you're good. You're good. You're high five, digital high five. You good. The rest of y'all, he can't do shit for you. You go. He can't do shit for you. He can't do shit for you. So how you gonna vet? Wait a minute. They say they licensed to practice, or they can help you in 50 states. And they only admitted to 2 of them. That means 48 states they don't know shit about. You do. Oh, that's cute. Oh, they say ignorance is bliss. I guess. Oh, shit. Y'all gonna be in trouble. You look, ain't nobody gonna test your gangster, so I guess it's good. You paying a little less money, I guess, whatever. You better not get into nothing. You get into nothing and you get into something. I can't stop laughing. This is bullshit. You know someone who has been the victim of ineffective assistance of counsel. Call the law offices of Got Your Ass, and they will help you. Instructor Mike tried to tell you that they were not going to be able to represent you properly, but you didn't want to listen. And you lived in a community where they wasn't going to test your gangster, but they actually did. And now you here claiming ineffective assistance of counsel when it literally says on the website, the states that they are admitted in, and Oh, come on. Come on. I said what I said. For only 5 cents a day, you too can feed the starving children of Nairobi. If you let me stop this music. This shit was fun. Low-key, I was hoping that I found the right track. Okay, this instructor Mike, you've been trained. Shouts out to Anthony. Go over to his page, Armed Scholar, and check out his other content. He got a lot of great content over there. A lot of great content. I said what I said at the beginning about the beginning because he'll put some stuff, surprising big case to end all Second Amendment issues, and then it be some shit that don't do it. So I was like, I just got tired of listening to. I used to religiously watch his stuff every time until I saw it was, oh, you said he's out of Texas. Oh, okay. He's out of California. He was living in California. Was he living in California before? I don't know. But go over to his page, Armed Scholar. Anthony, you may or may not see this. I'm not really relevant. Who am I? My million followers don't really mean a million, I guess. Sometimes people don't even understand that you can get a lot of shorts that go viral. People subscribe, but there's no bell to hit on shorts to get notifications. So that's why you don't see the big boom. Those who actually hit the bell for notifications, that's who's watching. And then when YouTube don't like you, they do some funky little thing to where it affects how many people watch. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. My video will not get the number of views that his video got. Whatever. I don't care. Let he who have an ear, let him hear. But in Chicago, in Cook County, I would not being a criminal justice practitioner, having been in the courts, having been a person who's been falsely arrested and had an attorney that didn't have a relationship with one in a different county. I learned the lesson the hard way. So I'm speaking from experience. Say what you want. Do what you want. But don't be surprised if, what the I think I seen somebody else. You said, from what I understand with other states is they're going to be lead chair and bring an attorney from the area as a second chair. Why would you have an attorney who has no relationships with the judges and the lawyers and the prosecutors and the other criminal justice practitioners in that county? Why would you have this person sit first chair? Ask your favorite attorney. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to have these guys in the state of Arizona that may know nothing about the appellate law and the history and the mood and the speed of the court and the relationships and the bar associations? You've got your local county bar associations. You've got your state bar. There are events that these judges and lawyers go to. A percentage of them, their kids go to the same school. They're at the same events. Those things matter. Those things matter. Why would you bring somebody who nobody knows to be first chair on a criminal case for you? Why would you do that? That's crazy. And now they're going exclusive. Self-defense matters. You know what that says? Not enough relationships. Not enough relationships. Not enough relationships. That's where it counts. Well, they're lawyers. They're not insurance. I don't give a French Foreign Legion that they're lawyers. You heard what I said. All right, this is Instructor Mike. You've been trained. Get on out of here. Go get some sleep. I got to go do a run. Knock out this 5K. See y'all. Love y'all. Like, subscribe, comment. Of course, I'm going to do some shorts. Put it up there. All that great stuff. As soon as I can hit this button the right way. Yeah. I'm trying to find the fucking button. I can't find the damn thing. I know what the button. All right, shit. That old car is worth money. Called Victory Auto. All right, here we go. Bye.
What's going on, you? This is Instructor Mike. You can follow me on Facebook at Mike Brown or Instructor Mike. Follow me
It
on
could be you as a citizen, and you walked up and you see somebody. It look heavy? I don't know. Special, that must be. But it's good to know that this can handle the high pressure rounds of the flooding. Ready to go.
Make eye contact with me. He's still trying to get it open a couple of times.
Show tail.